We're going to take a look at an example of compound interest. So our question here says Mark invests $5,000 in a savings bond that earns 3% per year, compounded annually. So annually means once a year. And then it says how much will he have at the end of 5 years. So when I'm looking at this question, if I'm trying to decide whether it's simple or compound interest, what gives it away is the word compounded. That's how I know this is compound interest. So I am going to go through and highlight any words or numbers that seem important. So there is $5,000 to start. He's getting 3% per year, and it is being compounded. That's important. And we want to know how much will he have at the end of 5 years. So the formula that we talked about for compound interest is A equals P times, in a bracket, 1 plus I, close the bracket, to the power of N. Now, when you're doing this in a Google form, which you are doing right now, you can't do an exponent. So we would do A equals P times 1 plus I, close the bracket, and then to show a power, we use the caret. That's the same thing you use in Desmos to do exponents, and then power of n. So when you're typing something in the form, you're going to have to use that weird little caret just to show that it's an exponent, because we can't type an exponent easily in a Google form. So from here, I'm going to list A, P, I, and N down the side. I'm going to leave an extra line for I, because we have to do a little bit of a calculation with that one. So when I read through the question, I guess we should just repeat what these are for. A is your final amount. P is our principal or starting amount. 1 is just the number 1. I is my interest rate, but it's divided by 100, so it's not a percent anymore. And then N is our number of years. So Mark invests $5,000. That is his starting amount. That is P, his principal. Okay, he's getting 3% per year. So the interest rate is 3%, but I cannot put it in as a percent when I'm calculating, so we have to divide by 100. That's what percent means. It means per 100. So on my calculator, I am going to do 3 divided by 100, which is 0.03. And then N is just our number of years, which is 5. Now, I don't know what the final amount is. That's what we're going to be calculating, so I'm just going to put a little question mark there. Okay, so I'm going to take my formula. I'm going to sub these numbers in everywhere I see those letters, and then we're going to use order of operations to calculate. So I don't know what A is. P is 5,000. 1 is just the number 1. Plus I is 0.03. And then to the power of n, that's to the power of 5. So BEDMAS says we do brackets first. So I'm going to do the addition inside my bracket. So I get 5,000 times, and then if I add those together, I don't really need a calculator, but I'm going to do it anyways. I get 1.03 to the power of 5. Now, the next step, according to BEDMAS, would be to do the exponent. If I do the exponent here, so that to the power of 5, or multiply 1.03 by itself 5 times, which I really don't want to do, I get this terrible looking decimal. I do not want to write all of that down. So I'm actually going to do both. I'm going to multiply and do my power at the same time. So I did the power of 5, and then I'm going to multiply that by 5,000 to save me the step of having to deal with that decimal. So I get 5,796.370372. So money should always have 2 numbers after the decimal point, which would be 37 cents. But I am going to take a quick peek at the next number. So if this number is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, I would round that up to 38 cents. But since it's a 0, I'm going to leave it at 37 cents. So this is going to be $5,796.37. And since I rounded it, I'm going to put a little dot over top of my equal sign. So how much money will Mark have? Mark will have $5,796.37. Not too bad. So since he started with $5,000 at the beginning and he ended with $5,796.37, he actually made $796.37 in interest, which is pretty good. All right, I will meet you at the next example.